All right, kiddos. So today for our read aloud, I've got our little friend, the cardinal, with us. Okay, I love his little tuft of hair on the top. Okay, and he's going to learn right along with us today. So I think he's really going to like the book that we read. Do you want to learn with us? All right, he's all in for it. Okay, so I'm going to put him right here. I know he's kind of hard to see, but that's okay. He's right here with us, I promise. Okay. Kiddos, I also have to say I wish we could do this in person. It's kind of fun taping these videos for you guys, but I would much rather just be in a circle or on our reading carpet reading with you guys. So I just want to tell you again that I miss you. Today I picked a fun STEM book because it's Fun Friday, right? It's Fun Friendship Friday. And you guys probably know this, but one of my favorite characters in a book is Molly Lou Melon. And then down here, Patty Lovell and David Cottrell are two of my favorite authors and illustrators. I just love the stories and I love the pictures in these books. Okay, so this is a fun one called Have Fun, Molly Lou Melon. And the purpose of this book, the reason that Patty Lovell wrote this, I believe, is to remind us the importance of being creative, right? We can have all the fancy toys we want in the world, but what's really fun is making our own. Okay, so that's kind of the lesson that Molly Lou Melon learns in this story. Okay, so the story is called Have Fun, Molly Lou Melon. And you can see she looks like she is having fun. She gets this idea to make her own toys because her grandma has given her some advice that back in her days, right? You've talked about history in social studies, that way back in history when her grandma was a little girl, she didn't even have any of these like fancy toys that you could get from Target or Walmart, right? She had to make her own. And that got Molly Lou Melon thinking, maybe I can make my own toys. She had a little bit different spin on it, that she used her old toys to add things to from outside. But I think it's still a pretty cool, creative story. Okay. Pipey really likes that front picture. So, and here's her little dog. Dun, dun. Okay. And we know that from reading her books before that she also has a tiny little grandma who's watching down from her. And that is right there. It's just a tiny little grandma. Okay. Whoa, look at these. Now, again, I wish we were in person because there's so many things that we would love to talk about on a page like this. Okay, but this is her bedroom. Can you imagine the creative ideas that are coming out of that room? Okay. Molly Lou Melon's toy chest. Sorry, kiddos. Molly Lou Melon's toy chest overflowed with whoozy whatsits of all shapes and sizes. Her grandma had told her, back in the olden days, I didn't have fancy dolls or action figures. I made my toys out of twigs, leaves, and flowers like hollyhocks and daisies. So there's a whole room full of really fun toys that Molly Lou Melon has, and she gets an idea. Now, she uses her old toys for this, but I think it's still cool that she adds some hollyhocks and daisies and different leaves. So she did just that. What a creative girl, right? Molly Lou Melon's backyard. And you can see they're going to talk about this fence or this wall right over here and all the things that are hanging out of the cracks over there. And this huge tree over here is called a weeping willow tree. It kind of looks like it's sagging down, like it's weeping, like it's crying almost. That's why it's called a weeping willow tree. Molly Lou Melon's backyard had a big weeping willow tree and a crumbly rock wall with thingamajigs peeking out from every crevice. Thingamajigs are all these things, kind of these random toys that are hanging out of those crevices. The crevices are the cracks. Okay? Her grandma had told her, back in the olden days, right, back in history, I didn't have a store-bought dollhouse. I made one in my backyard. And she got the idea that she's going to make her own up in this weeping willow tree. Check that out. She's got all little rooms and compartments. She's even got her robot up there playing piano. So she did just that. Molly Lou Melon's garage was full of colorful boxes and crates. Her grandma had told her, back in the olden days, I didn't have a race car. I sat in a cardboard box and sped down the hill. That reminds us of a story earlier this week that we talked about what you can do with a box. So she got the idea that she's going to make her own cardboard box car. Now, this is the most impressive cardboard box car I have ever seen. She's got flames on there. She's got it painted really cool. Looks very fast. She's got, I think, even a solar panel on there, which collects the sun's rays for energy. So she did just that. Molly Lou Melon lay on her back in the tall, willowy grass. Her grandma had told her, back in the olden days, I didn't have a television. I watched the clouds that floated by, and I saw lots of things in them. What do you guys see in them? That even almost looks like Abraham Lincoln, like we were just talking about. My girls and I love to do that. On a nice summer day, we love to just sit on our backs and watch the clouds. Watch the clouds pass and try to guess what other people see in the clouds. And then a new girl moves in right next door, and you can see the moving truck. There's the little girl. She's so cute with her cute glasses. One day, new neighbors moved in next door. When Molly Lou Melon went to welcome their little girl, she heard Gertie say to her mom, I'm bored, bored, bored. Molly Lou Melon invited Gertie over to play. And we would probably talk about this, kiddos, in class. Do you see? So here's Gertie, right? And then she's got some, it looks like little braces behind her. So as we read this story, I want you to notice the really cool, unique thing about Gertie that we might not have noticed reading this on the computer here. So look at that. So Gertie comes over, and I don't think Gertie's going to be bored anymore. On Monday, Gertie brought over her darling Darla Deluxe dollhouse. Whoa, say that 5 times fast. Complete with an electric mixer and working chandeliers. That's very fancy. Molly Lou Melon showed Gertie her tree root palace, complete with an acorn cap dinner plate, woven leaf air conditioning system, and cicada jacuzzi. Gertie was amazed. So Molly Lou Melon just made all of those things, right? She made her own dollhouse with all of those things from nature, which I think is pretty cool. And I also love that the author, Patty LaValle, has this really cool character in there, right? So I am guessing, we don't know that from the words, but I'm guessing that maybe Gertie has some unique abilities where she needs to maybe have these braces on her arms to help her legs walk. Okay? So that's one of the things that makes Gertie really, really cool and special. On Tuesday, Gertie drove over in her battery-operated, fully loaded Coupe de Ville. It's this fancy store-bought car. Look out below, Molly Lou Melon shouted, right before hurtling down the hill in her turbo boxcar, hand-painted with orange and red flames. Gertie was amazed. See, Molly Lou Melon didn't need anything fancy from the store. She made her own. And I love that her puppy has a helmet. That's good safety. Okay, so this is cool. I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but this is like playing telephone with old tin cans. So when you put a string on the base of an old can, that string will carry the vibration of your voice through it, and then hopefully, that's a pretty long way, but hopefully the person who has the other part of that can with that string attached will be able to hear what you're saying, which is really creative. On Wednesday, Gertie was going to call Molly Lou Melon on her cell phone. But then she heard a strange sound coming from an old tin can that was dangling in her window. "This is the operator. Will you accept a call from me, Molly Lou Melon?" "Yes," Gertie spoke into the can. "Great. Come on over." Click. Gertie was amazed. Look at all the things Gertie is learning from her. On Thursday, Gertie asked Molly Lou Melon if she'd like to come over and watch cartoons on her big screen TV. "It's 120 inches wide." Whoa. Molly Lou Melon said, "Not today. Thanks. I'm going to watch the clouds. They're sky wide." And Gertie was amazed. Look at that. She's got her own TV outside in nature that she can watch. I love that. On Friday, Gertie brought over a homemade doll. Oh, Gertie's kind of catching on. Right. Now, Gertie, this is the first time that Gertie is bringing something over that she actually made. On Friday, Gertie brought over a homemade doll with a frilly hollyhock skirt and violets for hair. "It's for your palace," she said. And Molly Lou Melon was amazed. So for the first time, she's amazed. And why? Yeah, because Gertie actually made that, and that was way cooler than just buying something. Look at that. My girls love this page. So many cool things. And you really have to use your imagination, obviously, when you're looking at clouds. On Friday evening, Molly Lou Melon and Gertie were tired from playing all week. They laid down in the tall, willowy grass, looking up at the clouds. "I see a butterfly," Gertie giggled, "and a penguin, and a refrigerator." There's her grandma looking down on her. Molly Lou Melon opened her eyes wide and grinned her biggest grin. "I see a grandma-shaped cloud winking at me." And Molly Lou Melon winked right back. What do you think was an important lesson that her grandma had taught her? Yeah, I think that I love this book because I think the relationship is really cool between her grandma and her, right? And that she's always kind of living her life taking advice from people who have been through lots and lots of things and they know a lot. Sometimes I remember when I was young, sometimes I didn't think that my parents knew a lot or my grandparents knew a lot. And then as I got older, I realized, oh, they actually knew a lot about what they were talking about because they've lived a lot of history and they have a lot of good advice. So I think one of the things, two things that this book is teaching us that I see is number one, be creative, right? Lay out in nature, enjoy that, use your imagination, create things. And number two is we can really learn a lot from our parents and our grandparents who have really great advice for us about living. So, all right, kiddos, see you later. Bye, Cardinal.